Y'all see the thumbnail, man. I'm getting stressed out. I'm starting to get stressed out thinking about this upcoming main event of Hitman Holla versus Calico. I'm trying to get myself in a habit of starting these blogs and these lives instead of waiting for people to come in. I know YouTube starts to send out the notifications to all the subscribers and all that type of shit. If y'all are in here, start to share the joint and all that. But as I watch my lives on replay, the shitty thing is I be sitting there waiting in the beginning, and it's like people that's not watching it live. You got a lot of people that watch it after the fact, right? So I'm kicking these shits off. If you missed the beginning, you missed the beginning. Just double back and watch the replay. Shout out to everybody that's coming in right now. We in Max Out 2 mode. July 10th is going down so crazy. Man, go to rarebreedent.com right now. Get your tickets to be in the building. There's a bunch of type of tickets that's already sold out. There's still a lot of general admission that's there for y'all. Of course, it's a big venue. Couple stage passes left. If you want that type of energy, I mean, I've always been a stage pass guy. You know what I'm saying? When I go to platforms and leagues, y'all see the footage, right, of me. So, and also your pre-sale pay-per-view, which includes your VOD. Go to rarebreedent.com right now and get your ticket. I'm gonna start getting to the topic in a second. I got y'all. Let me just have my little fun. Let me do my little shit with y'all. Let's enjoy the live. I ain't in a rush. You know what I'm saying? What else is going on right now that I want to talk about real quick? So, a majority of the card has been released, but we might add something additional for y'all. So of course you have Hitman Holla versus Calico, the 3-round grudge match finally getting settled once and for all. Close your shit. You have what could be one of the most lyrical bar fests of all time. We might end up having go down July 10th. Daylight versus King Los. Scary. I'm going to announce to the crowd, please, let's turn 1,500 people into a quiet room. Let's just listen. Let's not ruin this. Let's make sure that all these battlers want to continue to come back to whatever city that is hosting these events. Shout out to Renee Fields. I appreciate you when you bring your RBE to North Carolina. I appreciate that. No plans just yet. We will, think about any great cities that will host RBE and have a good fan base that wants to partake in battle rap, of course. But our next stop is in Houston, August 7th, for the Brick by Brick series that's being launched. That card is already locked in. It'll be announced soon. Stay tuned for that. That pre-sale is already going down as well on rarebreedent.com. It's locked in August 7th in Houston. But back to what I was saying. That Daylight and King Los is something epic. Battle of the Year type of contender. Hitman and Calico is a battle of the year contender type situation too. Because when we have these grudges, like when I think about like a Calico versus an Ill Will type of battle, and shout out to y'all for breaking that 1,000,000 views. Battles like that could be so epic because the battle is right with a different type of passion. But let me not get too deep on that just yet. We're gonna get to the Hitman and Calico shit in a second. What else we got announced? We got Ill Will versus Jag announced. I'm seeing the feedback. It's like 90% of the comments and tweets that I see is that Jag is like they're saying like, all right, you had a good run. It's been nice knowing you. I'm seeing those comments, and I don't mind saying that publicly. Jag is my nigga. Jag know what it is when it comes to him, myself, and RBE. But we obviously brought Jag back, and we're putting him in situations that are going to continue to test him. This is a huge test. Ill Will, one of the best in the world. I'm pretty sure if Jag walks out of this battle right here with a W, like a clear 2-1 or a 30, the whole world will never hear the end of it. Like Jag is still even on fucking Orez heels. Like Jag is the type of guy, and it's how every battler should aim to be. Before the battle, he on your heels. During the battle, he on your heels. After the battle, he on your heels. That's how this shit go. Cassidy's great at that as well. You know what I'm saying? He will drive his narratives before, during, and after. And if you're his opponent, you're going to have to fight all of that shit forever. Jag is like that. I'm pretty sure you're going to see Ill Will get a little bit more turned up for this one because Jag is just that type of guy you gotta be outside for. Rosenberg Roar versus A-War. Shout out to Champion. Shout out to Jay Black. They had a face-off for those two guys before the battle was booked. It's a battle that both of those guys want to do. A-Ward was probably expecting a call for Rosenberg Raw and max out part one. He ended up getting a call for Ill Will. And of course, he's going to take Ill Will. Like, oh shit, Ill Will? Sign the dotted line. Let's go, ARP. Let's go, RBE. Raw got a call for Show Off. You know what I'm saying? And I think he kind of knew that sooner or later that was going to happen because they had some behind the scenes history. So that was dope. But now, the battle that people were expecting on part one is on part two. What else we got there? The return of X Factor. Salute, homie. Y'all seen us do an interview leading into part one. That was the beginnings of us rebuilding once again, having the conversations of, yo, we should get some work done. And you see RBE when it comes to returns, we love it. We love setting the table and seeing what somebody's going to come back to the culture for after being away for a while. We love that type of shit. But he's going up against the dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing Big K as a clear favorite. I'm going to have a conversation with X Factor about that very soon. I'm also going to have a conversation with Big K. So stay tuned to the channel. A lot of shit dropping. You're going to see interviews with me and everybody on the card start dropping on this channel. So make sure y'all subscribe. That's going to be a good one. We see what Big K does in a big room. X Factor, he's a legend. He's been on every type of scenario, every type of stage. But yeah, you're coming back into a big room situation. A lot of energy around RBE, a lot of energy around Big K. And Big K, he don't, all right, whatever. I ain't gonna explain how Big K is coming. X Factor already knows that. Am I missing anything? I think I spoke about all 5 battles briefly. But thinking about the 1SKs are there as well. I don't even know if Lawrence is getting a trailer done for the 1SK battles or not. If so, we're gonna release that as well. So keep your eyes out for who's battling the 1SKs. And we might have a 6th battle on the way. You know, I'm hearing people ask about this particular battle. Is he on the card? Is this huge fucking return on the card? Is RBE doing all this shit just to fucking say some huge announcement for the end? Is there a female battle on the card? I'm hearing it all. You never know. Get your tickets and stay tuned. I'll say all that to now. Brief intermission. New pickups. I haven't done new pickups on live with y'all in a second. We're going to have some fun talking about this Hitman Calico situation. New pickups. My sneakerheads that be rocking with me on the channel, you know I ain't going nowhere. Did y'all see these? It's a cool box. It's a cool box with some Pumas. So I seen these. I forget what store I was in. I like them. So I tried these out. I like them. Who's this? Renee Felix. When you bring an RBE to North Carolina? Oh no, I read that one already. My bad. Let me scroll down. My bad, y'all. My bad. Let me catch up. Handlebars 419 McBride. Appreciate the support, homie. Just tapping in real quick. Keep pushing ARP. Salute, homie. Brick by brick. Always thank you for tapping in. Yeah, y'all fuck with these? Pumas. Nice low cut design. You know what I mean? Kind of streamlined design. The colors enable you to go in a bunch of different directions. You know what I'm saying? So you can go with your grays, your white outfits. You know what I mean? It's got some neon little, you know what I mean, tossed in there lightly, like around the back and shit. So if you want to throw a little lime green or neon type of shit in your outfit, you can, whether it's a belt or whatever. You know what I mean? So these allow you to do a lot of things with them. I like the design of them, so I went with those. Kind of cool. I don't think they're too expensive either. I don't remember the price, but I don't think they're too expensive. And this is my first pair of Cole Haans that are sneakers. It's a Cole Haan. If you know Cole Haan is known for shoes. I didn't even know they made a sneaker like, you know what I mean? You walk into a Cole Haan store, it's all sneakers 9 times out of 10. 0 grand. Is that the name of this series? 0 grand? Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So I grabbed these. And once again, I need a little bit more neon green in the closet. Because I'm starting to have a little bit more neon green in shirts and all types of shit. So I started picking up a couple more sneakers that got neon greens in them and shit. Y'all like these? Y'all fuck with those? They alright. I like these. I like these a little bit. Ground Zero Cole Haans. I don't think that these was too expensive either. Oh no, they 140. looks like. So, but Kohan is a more, you know what I mean, prestigious brand. So you can't be shocked at paying over $100 if Kohan puts out some sneakers. Can't be shocked at that. All right. Calico versus Hitman. The truth about this battle and the truth about these two guys. Let's talk a little bit more about who these guys are, whether you guys pick up on it or you're not. I know a lot of us are just into battle rap. We have our fans that just say, I like what Hitman does on stage. I like what Calico does on stage. This guy's a legend. That guy's a legend. I've been watching him for years, blah, 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 blah. This guy got classes. This guy got classes. Millions of views, battles between both of them, etc., etc. We know these guys very well. Two of the biggest names in the game. But who are they? What are some of their ways? What are some of their tendencies that makes the making of this battle interesting, and what makes this matchup interesting? Should I go to Hitman or should I go to Calico first? I'm gonna go to Hitman first. Let me tell you a little bit more about who Hitman is. Now, I didn't know Hitman since childhood and no shit like that, but I know enough about Hitman. I've been around him enough. I had enough conversations with him. I built with him enough to know a lot about his personality. There's a big misconception that I think a lot of people have about who Hitman is. When you got certain situations and occurrences that are online, it's very easy to get typecasted as a certain type of person. So what's certain things that are tagged on Hitman's reputation, tagged on Hitman's legacy? The first thing, if I ask you, what's the first 5 things that comes to mind when you think about Hitman? People's gonna say an elite battle rapper. They're gonna talk about, they might say a remix. You know what I'm saying? They might say show out, him featuring his brother. I got people hitting me up and shit. Get to that in a second. His brother. You might think about his fights. You know what I'm saying? And that last one, well, shit, as well as even the show out thing. The show out thing and the fights thing tie into what people perceive to be is an aggressive personality, an aggressive person. Sometimes y'all say, yo, he's just going to be overboard with certain things or whatever. Here's the catch about Hitman Holla that I know, that I'm not sure if everybody picks up on. Hitman Holla is more of a defensive person and more of a defender than he is an offensive person. Way more. You might see him get into a fight or a situation on King of the Dot while he's battling Shotty Hart. You might see him in a situation in a club or at a card at a battle rap event. You might see him in a situation in a barbershop or whatever, on YouTube or whatever. You might see him argue with Cassidy. You know what I mean? And that aggressive attribute is what people are going to tag on you. Hitman is so opposite from the perception. This guy is a defender. He's a defensive person. If Hitman had a perfect world, Hitman would love to just sit back, mind his own business. He bothers nobody. Nobody bothers him. He says no. He doesn't call anybody out or diss anybody or shit on anybody. Nobody just brings his name up and disrespects his name and says anything about him. And then the only time you would really hear from him really violating or disrespecting somebody or having that type of energy towards somebody is if there's a battle. He says that shit online all the time. We working, or we think about the last card. As soon as we announced him versus Cassidy, he came outside. He was doing things like the top tier diss. And then you would ask him in interviews. I think I asked him in an interview, what made you do that? What made you take a shot at all these people that you talked about in your track? He said, I got a battle coming up. I'm outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the battle rap shit. That's not my real life. That's not when these cameras and everything turn off and how I'm walking around the streets just, oh, let me just decide to wake up today and shoot at people. You know what I'm saying? That's why Hitman takes it so personal if he feels that people initiate energies towards him. He's a defensive person. Let's flip it now to Calico. Calico comes off as way more the opposite. He's more of an offensive person, and a good word to apply to prove that he's more of an offensive person is the fact that he's a tormentor. Calico is a tormentor. Calico is a guy that's going to be on social media and his videos and his battles. He's going to test people. he's gonna talk shit about somebody that might not have been talking about him, and he's gonna see how you respond. You know what I'm saying? Let's think about Calicoe's battle with Tay-Rock. Calico was testing the shit out of Tay-Rock, pushing him around, pushing through him, bumping him, all types of shit. To the point where the next round, Tay-Rock had to try to return the energy. Like, I got to get him off my heels physically. I got to return some of this energy. And then you see at the end of the round, Tay-Rock is like screaming, like, stop touching me. It was all battle rap energy. But Calico invoked that. After the Calico versus Ill Will battle, me and Calico standing out in the parking lot, we was talking for like 20 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Just building, talking shit, because it was our first time working together. Yeah, the Big K battle came after. So now that the objective is all complete and shit, we get a chance to sit back, build, business is done, battles done. So we built as men, get more of a read on each other now that we done worked together, we broke bread. So stand out in the parking lot talking. One thing that he tells me, he says, I knew Will was going to react like that. What I'm talking about is the second round of Calico versus Ill Will, when the whole scuffling shit broke out. Ain't no security guards there. We ain't inside a venue or nothing like that. This was in the street, as y'all know, that classic battle. So he tells me, it's just me and him. He's talking to a platform league owner. He's telling me this shit. This motherfucker. He's like, nah, I knew Will was going to react like that. But I was just asking myself, how long is it going to take as I continue to test this man? From the very first round, when Calico started rapping at the bottom of the first round, he's doing things like putting his arm over Will's shoulder and resting it on his shoulder and shit. He's bumping him at times, bumped him multiple times. Then you see Will like, I got bumped. It is a battle. People invading each other's space. And then Will turns like, is he doing this shit on purpose? And Will finally cracked, as he should have. He was being tested. Now everybody knows how Will gives it up. Calico knows how Will gives it up. They both have respect for each other in that type of aspect, as far as physicality or where they come from or what their background is or what they represent. They both respect each other on that level. But when it was time to rap, Cal was going to test Ill Will. So as he's telling me that shit, I'm just like learning more and more about how Calico moves and what he does. And I tie it back to the word. I use those two examples of Tay-Rock and Ill Will, and I tie in the word tormentor. Because when you fast forward and you see songs from Calico, and he's got Ill Will and Mac Myron and all these people in his video, and it's like saying things like, I don't got no problems with none of these rappers. The WWF shit and all that shows you. He will torment you then. Just add it up. It's all clear as day. Clear as day. Now, if you give somebody like Calico real ammunition, plus you factor in the fact that he will torment the shit out of you, and he can stand on that shit as a man, as a street nigga, as a battle rap and all that, he could actually stand on it. It creates a very, very strong energy that people don't necessarily want to deal with. And that's why Cal has the reputation that he has. That's why, you know, he's willing to go there if you watch like a him versus a Pat Stay type of situation shit. You know what I mean? But he could also turn that off. So Cal is not as easy to read, but he's an offensive tormentor. Hitman is more of a defensive person that's going to stand on everything that he believes in if he feels like you're crossing the line of violating him. But he tries to keep himself in a position where he's like, I'm trying to mind my business. You started this. That's why he was so adamant in a face-off of rewind the footage. You said something physical first. You said something about I'll beat you up or whatever first. Hitman mind was stuck on that for a second. You know what I'm saying? He's a defender. Regardless of how you perceive him, he's a defensive person. So the making of this battle, somebody like Hitman in his natural personality, in his real life, avoids a Calico. All right, that's a Hitman in his real life at this point of his life, being a little bit older now. He's not fucking 22 years old anymore. This isn't like when he was going back and forth for Arsenal and he was a kid. He's matured. He's shit to lose now. He's got a family. He's got kids, a life, a career. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different Hitman. It's a whole different type of situation. But in his real life, Hitman tries to avoid and stay away from people that he feels might torment him. You know what I'm saying? He tries to avoid that type of shit. And that's one of the reasons why this battle never got announced, never happened on Rare Breed Entertainment, I'd say for at least the last year and a half. Because do you think for July 10th, this is the first time that ARP has ever tried to bring this battle up? Hitman has never ducked Calico. It's just a situation where it's like, Hitman has a set target on people that he's interested in battling. And if not, he'd rather be off doing TV. He'd rather be off doing Wildin' Out or doing walkthroughs or doing shows or doing music. He'd rather be doing something else. Like, he doesn't have to battle rap. That's Hitman. You know what I'm saying? Calico is smart enough to torment people. You know what Calico is as well? Calico's a guy you could watch lay traps. He's a trap laying type of person. There's times when me and Calico is on the phone, and if we're negotiating, then you get the I'm just going to use a more extreme word, even though I'm not saying this in a bad light for me or Calico, but I'm going to use the extreme word to make the point. Manipulation. There's times where Calico will start laughing in our conversations and be like, yo, ARP, I see what you just did. You good there. Alright. And there'll be times I'll be like, Calico, what you just said, yeah, it sound real good, but stop that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the minds are meeting, and Calico has that in him. Calico has that in him. He can be a trap laying type of person. You know what I'm saying? He's a professional guy. He's a stand-up guy. That's why when we book him for Ill Will, when we book him for Big K, when we book him for Hitman Holla, you know what I'm saying? Even despite certain things that was happening behind the scenes, and when he battled Ill Will, when he was starting to get promoted with Ill Will, he's a very sturdy stand-up business and professional guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's coming from me and my experiences dealing with him and building with him over the years. But he's a trap-laying motherfucker. He is. So if you take an offensive agitator, right? And you take a defensive, aggressive person, and Hitman gets to a point where, now once again, as a defender, and if you look at his situations, their responses, they're because something happened. They're not just him starting something off, right? To get this type of person to say, you know what, I want to kill this motherfucker, Calico now. This guy had to have been agitating and poking, pushing buttons and all types of shit over time to make a guy like this finally take offense and say, yo, ARP, book the fucking battle. That's a scary thing if you're going against Hitman Holla. It's a different Hitman Holla that you got to battle. This is somebody that don't like you. This is somebody that feels like you asked for this. This is somebody that is like, you did all of this talking. You did all of this pushing buttons for me. You interviewing, you saying my name. I don't say yours, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, we got our personal little things and gripes and dislikes or whatever. And yeah, we used to be friends. We used to be closer. But as far as all this public and interviews or whatever, I try to avoid it. Yet sometimes I could turn around and there's energy between me and you that's in front of the public and in front of the fans, Cal. You know what, ARP? Book this fucking battle. Tired of this nigga, son. Fucking tired of him. Calico. You know what? I don't like Hitman as much as I used to like him. I don't just agitate people to agitate them. Why am I targeting this man specifically? Yeah, I fuck with other people too, but why do I have a gripe towards this man? Why do I keep pushing his buttons? Let me tell you something about Calico's negotiations. And if you read between the lines, don't just focus on the numbers, okay? If Calico books for $50,000, Calico is a guy that if I call him for Ill Will, he's going to want his $50,000. If I call him for Big K, he's going to want $52,000. If I call him for Hitman, he's willing to do the battle for $48,000. Did that go over your head? The difference of those three bookings, of why Calico did that, or does something like that, or moves like that. Rewind this if you didn't catch it. That creates a very dangerous Calico. The type of Calico, not the Calico that battled Big K, which was a very good Calico, but Calico that battled Big K was almost like the Calico that battled DNA. It's just the maturity and time that passed between the DNA battle and the Big K battle makes Calico be better and be more professional, more matured I'm in business with somebody, I got to get up there and perform. Even if I'm not 1000% focused or have a lot of material or thoughts in my head towards Big K, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to craft something, I'm going to train my mind to coming up with things that I want to possibly say to Big K. I never was thinking about things that I might want to say to Big K until I got a call to lock in the battle. You know what I'm saying? That's different. You call Calico for Hitman. It's like, you know how much shit I've been wanting to say to this fucking guy for the last 2 years? Lock it in, AR. Lock the shit in. I'm tired of this nigga. Lock the shit in. I'm finally, watch what I fuck. You pushed the wrong button, you got the right one. Versus, finally, I get to tell you all the things I really been wanting to tell you about yourself on a large scale of things, instead of just a tweet here or interview there of me laying traps and tormenting the fuck out of you because I don't like you as much as I used to like you. Classic grudge match on the way, if you ask me. I'll be back again tomorrow with one of these. I'm gonna do one of these for Daylight and King Los. The making of King Light. That's kind of a dope name, King Light. King Los versus Daylight. I'll probably be back to do that tomorrow. I'll tell you about the making of the battle, how I look at the battle, how I read the battle, similar to how I just told you about things about Hitman and Calico that a lot of that people don't know. I'm gonna tell you things that you don't know about King Los versus Daylight tomorrow. I'll be back. Salute for tuning in. It's your boy.